Prime Minister Modi has reached the capital city Kyiv in Ukraine. He has reached Hotel Hyatt, where he was met and welcomed by Indian diaspora members who were present at the hotel. Slogans were raised in support. Remember, Indians are excited about first visit of any Indian Prime Minister for that matter in Ukraine, and we're given to understand Prime Minister Modi has now touched down in Kyiv. My colleague Aditya also joining us on the phone line. Aditya, this is going to be a packed day for Prime Minister, a lot on the agenda from trade front to bilateral ties and also from a foreign policy perspective. This is an approach that India is taking on now, which is not just non-alignment but multi-alignment.
Well, absolutely. A big day for both India and Ukraine. Prime Minister on board the Rail Force One has reached the capital city of Kyiv in Ukraine. And in fact, his convoy just a few minutes ago entered the Hyatt Hotel, where he was greeted by the Indian diaspora. And as expected, he's received a very warm welcome in Ukraine. In the due course, of course, he'll be meeting Zelensky and there will be bilateral talks. We'll have to wait and watch whether there will be a joint press statement and what exactly will be the meat of the joint statement, because India has been reiterating that India stands for a peace, peaceful diplomacy and the end of a war as early as possible. Last month, Prime Minister Modi was in Russia as well, and now many foreign policy wonks are calling this a balancing act. But Indian Prime Minister and the Indian from the very beginning that they will not join one bloc against the other or one axis against the other, and believe in this not being an era of war. In fact, the Prime Minister yesterday itself, while in a joint statement with the Prime Minister of Poland, Donald Tusk, maintained that solutions cannot be found in the battlefield. This is something that he had conveyed to Putin as well. And the Poland Prime Minister also reiterated that India can play a very crucial and pivotal role as a mediator or someone that can bring in peace between Russia and Ukraine, because India has very close ties with both these countries. But a very significant visit for the first time an Indian Prime Minister in Ukraine ever since Ukraine was formed. The Western countries are watching this very closely at a time when both Russia and Ukraine are looking for a very respectable exit to this particular war. Apart from that, also other bilateral issues, including defense, gas turbine engines and other, bilateral ties between India and Ukraine would be discussed. There are a few other meetings that are lined up. But since this is a very security-tight situation, Indian and Ukraine security protocol is underway, there won't be live coverage, unfortunately. So there'd be deferred visuals that would be sent in, and perhaps then we would come to know what these events are all about.
Shots on our screen, as my colleague is pointing out, this is a strategic meeting. May not be able to get live coverage as much as possible, but we're getting shots, of course, from Kyiv, where Prime Minister Modi has now touched down in the Ukrainian capital. It is a significant visit, and it's being looked at from a global perspective, whether India will be able to broker that peace in the war-hit Ukrainian region. And shots, of course, on your visuals of Prime Minister Modi's cavalcade touching down at Hyatt in Kyiv.